little mama, don't walk away. You're headed the wrong direction. The High Tea Boys podcast is this way, and I am hard as hell.
And welcome to the High Tea Boys. This is the John Knuckles takeover episode. The boys are busy getting really into equestrian lately, so they haven't had time to record, so they asked for me to step in. You know, I'm sitting in a hotel room right now. It's about 3 a.m., and I'll record an episode for you all so that we can, continue to have a little bit of fun here. This is probably going to be an audio-only episode, so just imagine, if you need to paint a picture of what's going on, it's kind of like a Shadow the Hedgehog type of guy, just chilling in bed. He's probably got like a little sleeping cap on, like he's like Ebenezer Scrooge or something, and he's just chilling. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be chilling. This is a tier list episode. Just because I'm on here doesn't mean we've left that. So today, we're actually going to be celebrating the holiday tier list. So I'm very excited to start this. If you've talked to me for more than 45 seconds, you know that I'm really into the holidays, really into, getting together with people and celebrating. And today, we're going to really hash it out. So for this, we have 4 tiers on this. So the lowest tier is the bank holiday tier. So that's, all that garbage that you're just like, all right, it's a day off of work. We're not really going to consider that a real holiday. The next one is don't tell your coworkers your plan tier. So that's kind of the ones where it's like, all right, I really don't want people to know what I'm getting up to on these holidays. The next is your drunk family reunion. So those holidays that everyone gets together, has a little bit too much fun. There's always an uncle who has a gun who shouldn't have one, and he's about 6 beers deep, and he's starting to really play around with it, and everyone's really getting uncomfortable. So that's that tier. And lastly, it's simple, it's easy, it's the 90s commercials. So these are the ones where, it's just really good. You're just thinking of, you're the holidays coming up, and you're turning the TV on, and it's just telling you, hey, get ready for the latest episode of Boy Meets World. Topanga is going to meet Santa Claus or something like that. Like, it's going to be really cool. And I think that's fun. I really miss those days. So that's the tier list that we have on here. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first holiday that we're going to tackle today is Groundhog's Day. So I'm from Western Pennsylvania. Punxsutawney's out that way. For some odd reason, that was always a big holiday. People made a big deal about it. So for that, we're putting that in your don't tell your coworker. This is your plan tier. Really shouldn't be in any tier. It's really goofy. But the one thing that I will say that I love about Groundhog's Day is in Pennsylvania, since it was such a big deal, our mascot for the lottery was a dude named Gus. His entire thing was he was a groundhog. And he was like, I'm the second most famous groundhog. And I don't know how, like, it's one of those things where you just think about, like, marketing campaigns, and you have all these ideas, you think of rebranding, and you think of all these strategies, and one guy's like, dude, what if we just act like, like, Punxsutawney Phil's cool, but, like, what about this dude named Gus? I'm just gonna make it a big deal. So, like, Groundhog Day is cool. I don't know. I really want to look more into it, because, like, the idea of it just, like, everyone getting together, and there's all these dudes in top hats, and they're just, like, they just yank this poor dude. I always laugh because I'm like, dude, he's going to see a shadow because everyone's taking flash photography. So, like, it doesn't really matter. But I really think they have the idea of Groundhog's Day down, and it's, like, the perfect holiday that just, it's meaningless. It has somewhat of a meaning, but it's like, all right, we're past the point of relying on groundhogs for our weather technology. So I don't know. Groundhog Day is cool. It's in your don't tell your coworkers your plan list, and I would continue to celebrate it and make sure that that's going on. But I think we definitely have some better holidays in here. So the next holiday that we have on the list is the 4th of July. It's a banger holiday. I mean, you're celebrating the founding of America. That's pretty cool. Like, when you think about it, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about barbecues, you're thinking about fireworks, and you're thinking about getting together with your family. So I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a cornerstone holiday. I wish there was like more funny things I could say about 4th of July, but it's just like, it's so straightforward. And like, I think we've done such a really good job of making it like an enjoyable holiday that's like not too obnoxious. You know, like there's ways that you can look at all these other different like liberation days and things like that, and they just get so over the top with it. In America, we did such a great job of just being like, dude, it's a commercial, dude. Wear your red, white, and blue American flag bathing suit and go to your aunt's cookout. Like, it's gonna be a good time. And 4th of July just bangs on that. And like, I always feel like there's something. There's always like a family member that's doing something that he shouldn't. And like, I don't know if it's just my family, but I know a lot of families always have like a 4th of July story where it's like, dude, remember that one time Uncle Steve did so and so at the 4th of July party? You know? So like, it's just, I feel like it's really greatly set up to have good memories made at it. And, you know, it's just like, it's always a ton of fun. So I'm a big fan of 4th of July. It's getting a really solid spot on my list. And I would recommend that, you know, if you don't have something going on, find something. Find something to do on the 4th of July. Don't sit at home. Hey, you get the day off work 90% of the time. So, like, go get some barbecue. Find someone who has a pool. That's the most important part. Honestly, I think I just like the 4th of July because I like swimming pools so much. I never go in them except for on the 4th of July. All right. Moving on to our next holiday. 4th of July is a banger, classic. But we're going to talk about Earth Day. Now, Earth Day, alright, like, we live on the Earth every day. Like, is it really that special? I'm hitting that in the bank holiday category. I mean, I you know, there's a lot of cool things that they're trying to do and reinvent Earth Day. They're, like, trying to really, like, go into the environmentalism, which, you know, it's cool. Like, I like the Earth, so I'd like to keep having it around, but, like, I don't know. How do you make a day about the Earth exciting? Like, we just talked about the 4th of July. Like, we have red, white, and blue. We have cookouts. Like, let's brainstorm this. Let's use this time to figure out how can we make Earth Day exciting. Like, what about a cool corporate sponsor? Like, what if we got, like, Snickers, right? Is that Mars candy? Let's just get candy companies to sponsor Earth Day. And, like, let's create a new mascot for Earth Day. But, like, let's go weird with it. Like, instead of just being like, dude, it's Earth Day, who would be the mascot for Earth Day? Globy. And he's a globe, but it's the Earth, right? That's boring. Like, I think we should do like a twist on something, because I was about to say rabbits, but obviously, you know, there's a few holidays calling dibs on rabbits. Maybe something wild. Like, what about like a feral hog? Like, that's it. I think a feral hog is a great way to really like be a strong mascot for Earth Day. You know, they like, especially when they get the tusks because they haven't, like, I don't know, been in a barn or something. Is that how feral hogs work? Like, you can tell if they're feral or not because they have the tusks that are forming. I feel like I should know that now that I live in Texas. But yeah, like, put the feral hog. Earth is resilient. Earth gets things done. Earth has been here forever. Feral hogs are the same way. So, you know what? That's my pitch. But write that down. Someone get on that. We need to really invigorate Earth Day and make it exciting. Like, let's move the messaging to being like, Earth is cool and Earth's going to be here forever. Earth is a feral hog. All right, that was a solid run on that one. Let's move on to the next holiday. Easter. Easter's a great holiday. It has a nice mixture, right? Because like a lot of holidays in the world, there's two ways to celebrate it, right? You can do the traditional way, and if you're a Christian, you're celebrating Easter for the reasons of Christianity. But in America, we just always love to take something that has some sort of religious aspect and create a commercialistic version of it. And dude, the Easter Bunny rules, hiding eggs rules. I know it's not related at all to the real meaning of what Easter's about, but I mean, just like getting your family together and like having your nieces and nephews. I'm at that age where I have that happening in my life. They're running around looking for like 2 pieces of candy that's probably melted inside of some eggs. That's pretty cool. I like that. And so like to me, I'm putting it in the second highest. It's in the drunk family reunion. My family never got too wild on Easter. I think I'm from a very Catholic background with my extended family, so Easter was very serious for us. So we were at church and then went to my grandparents and had a nice dinner as a family. So it never got too rowdy. Not like a 4th of July or some of the other holidays we potentially could be talking about, but it's got a really solid background of just bringing people together, and I really like that. So Easter's cool. Easter's high. I really like the other aspects, like the one thing that I didn't mention is hiding Easter baskets. Now, that was like such a big thing in my family. There's something about my dad. He just loves being wild and weird. And his big thing was like, he was super competitive with us kids, so I'm like 5 years old and he's like, dude, you're losing at Monopoly. You suck, dude. He landed on Park Place, give me $300. And I'm like, dude, I'm screaming in Baltic Avenue. It's the only thing I got. I'm dying here. And I'm 5 and he's just cackling and laughing and taking my money. So the dude has a competitive edge, and his big thing for Easter was he loved hiding Easter baskets, and he was so good at it. So I remember when I was like probably 4, maybe 6, somewhere around that age area. Dude, I couldn't find my basket. I spent 45 minutes looking for my basket. It was like in like a closet up behind all like the cleaning supplies, like somewhere that I physically could not get to. Like I would have to climb up and start like pulling through chemicals. So like eventually I think my mom had a conversation with them. It was like, dude, you gotta chill out. Like these are children. It is fun that they need to find the Easter basket, but you can't like, I don't know, start creating like saw contraptions and then being like, all right, we're gonna play a game. Like, I know you really want those sweet tarts, John, and that's gonna get you through the day, but you have to put your hand into sorry, I'm just thinking of my dad as Jigsaw at Easter, and it's really getting me. And oh man, the holidays are great, and that's the best thing is you can look back on them. And Easter has a really good a good area for you to do that. So solid holiday. I'm a fan. Let's keep it going. Easter's great. All right. So moving on, Christmas. All right, we just talked about Easter, but what is the king of the commercial highest religious holiday but Christmas? Obviously, we're smacking that right in the 90s commercials because I'm thinking of all of the Christmas episodes of my favorite TGIF shows growing up. Dude, Christmas rules. Like, there is no better feeling than being a little young dude. It's like 5:45 a.m. and you're like, please, like you're just waiting to hear noises in the hallway so that people are getting up and you can get out there and get your presents. That really does roll. And now I'm an older dude. I'm on the opposite side now. Now I'm giving presents to people, and that's even better. And that's that goes back to the whole thing. Christmas is about giving, and it's all that, and it's great. It's good. And it's really basic on that, right? It's a great opportunity for people to come together, have a good common goal, and you can enjoy both aspects of it. Like, whether it's the Christian messaging of it or the commercial aspect of it. Even though the receiving of the gifts are a little bit too crazy nowadays. I've extended nieces and nephews that get like 9,000 it's just insane, and it's uncalled for because they're not going to use half the things. But the act of giving to others, always a great thing. So Christmas, It's a great holiday. I'm honestly struggling to figure out a holiday that's better than it. There's obviously holidays I like more than it because, life is about having personal tastes. But yeah, Christmas is a really, really great holiday. It's funny. I basically have talked about how great all of these holidays are besides trying to pitch Earth Day with the feral hog mascot, which I think that's just 3 a.m. delusions. And you know what? I'm enjoying it. I'm doing a callback within my own episode. Dude, solo podcasting's pretty cool. It's really hard. I need someone, like, I'm just gonna call someone right now and be like, hey, get on this podcast with me. I'm trying to help out the boys. They're over there inspecting a strong mare and saying, sorry, we're too busy to record a podcast. So John's gonna record one in a hotel room and see how it goes. Oh man. All right. Well, moving on. Absolutely love Christmas. Great holiday. We're gonna move over to Arbor Day. So, I don't know. Let's go back to what we think with Earth Day, right? Was our pitch to create a new mascot good enough to fix it? We'll never know. But with Arbor Day, what could we do? Let's do a little brainstorming. I think we take Arbor Day and we bring it under the Earth Day umbrella, right? Because the whole point of Arbor Day is we're planting trees, which, great. I mean, I think of how's that quote go? Society only grows when grandfathers plant trees that they'll never see, or something like that, right? Like, the idea of setting the world up for success beyond yourself. A very selfless act. Very cool. Arbor Day, really cool. It's a really cool concept, but it is pitched so poorly. Honestly, as someone who kind of works and does a little bit of marketing in their day to day, dude, Arbor Day, zero branding, has no strength in the market. Let's reinvent it. Planting trees is cool. I would say let's get a corporate sponsor, but I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical, but I feel like all those places where they're like, we'll go ahead and plant a tree for you, they're all fake, right? That's probably fake. There's probably, I don't know, there's maybe a company or two that's really doing it. But what if we could get McDonald's to sponsor Arbor Day? And they were just like, we're going to go ahead and every time you buy a Big Mac this week, we're going to plant trees. I feel like that would do way more numbers. Even if they're donating 25 cents to each individual planting of trees, I feel like that would have greater reach than having just Arbor Day. I don't know, it's kind of lame. Could someone get back to me on this one? Can someone tell me if they celebrate Arbor Day, or they know anyone celebrating Arbor Day, or how we can make it better? Because to me right now, Arbor Day kind of stinks. To me, it's in the bank holidays tier. I know it's a holiday. I don't even get it off work, so maybe that's the move. Let's take that further. Give us the day off. And then we only get the day off if we plant a tree. And if everyone does that, that's crazy. That's 300 million trees. Obviously, there's probably kids or whatever in that number. That's not a real number, but yeah, if we just all planted 200 million trees in a day, that's great. Maybe that's my pitch for it. And I still like the McDonald's sponsorship, but it's probably because it's 3 a.m. and I could really go for a McChicken right now. All right, I think that's all I have on Arbor Day. I feel like I ended everyone with great holidays. It's Arbor Day, stinks. Let's rebrand it. Let's get it exciting. My next one is St. Patrick's Day. So St. Patrick's Day is such a loaded holiday. I spent a decent amount of time living outside Chicago, so St. Patrick's Day was always a big deal. They painted. Well, I guess it is painting. They turned the river green in Chicago, and that was like a really big deal. People got really excited, but like, you're celebrating just being wasted, which, like, hey, more power to you, man. I'm not here to tell you that stinks, but what I'm saying is, like, I feel like we're so far removed from what it meant. So, like, I don't know, it's a weird holiday. And just, like, navigating being a young professional when I was a little bit younger, like, I feel like everyone was trying to make St. Patrick's Day plans with their coworkers, and I'm saying this was, I don't know, I was in my early 20s, so it makes a little bit more sense. But really, I don't want anybody knowing my business if my plan is just to go and get hammered. So, like, to me, straight up solid, don't tell your coworkers your plans tier. St. Patrick's Day, I don't know, like, I'd make it the Notre Dame Fighting Irish Day. Like, I don't know. I'm supposedly some sort of Irish in my ancestry, and like, our big day is just everyone claims to be Irish and gets hammered. Like, I don't know. Maybe maybe we make it cool. Maybe we turn St. Patrick's Day into like a day where everyone pretends to be Irish, but like being Irish means you put like $200 in your Roth IRA. I don't think I've had a single good idea for how to improve any of these holidays, but it's making me laugh, so I don't care. It's like we're gonna rebrand being Irish. It's all about Irish people. You know what they're known for? Financial independence. So the holiday is you just go and put money into your retirement. What a great holiday. But I mean, I don't know. It was a fun holiday when I was younger. So feel free, if you feel free to celebrate it. Feel free to go wild. All right, I think St. Patrick's Day. Living in the don't tell your coworkers your plans tier. It's still, I mean, honestly, with being from an Irish family, it really is super borderline drunk family reunion tier, because I know some family stories and people got a little bit too wild on St. Patrick's Day. So for me personally, since this is my tier list, I don't have any fun people to bounce my ideas off of. It's going to sit there. But I could see anyone coming on here and making the argument for don't tell your for drunk family reunion tier. All right. So this is the last one, and you probably, if you've been paying attention to these holiday lists, you probably know which one I'm about to talk about, and that's Halloween. Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. What a tremendous holiday. It is easily my favorite holiday. Going back to what I talked about earlier, I think Christmas is objectively a better holiday than Halloween. But for me personally, I love Halloween. And the reason I love it, pumpkins and gargoyles. So this year, big change for me. I've been really into gargoyles. They're really cool. I'm probably going to go home from this event and watch the 90s TV show. Was it 90s or early 2000s? Either way, the Gargoyles TV show. I think that was on Disney. Gargoyles are really cool. And, like, that's one thing that I miss from back in the day. And we're going to come back to Halloween, but we're going to talk about something unrelated real quick. Dude, why are we not putting gargoyles on buildings and doing cool architecture like that? That's where we need to be doing. That's where we need to be spending our time. Because, like, dog, just like you looked up and there was like an archangel or there was a gargoyle and everything was regal. Now everything's bland, everything's white or gray, and it's a square. And, like, okay, that's my rant. Bring back gargoyles. And I guess during September, October time, you can put a pumpkin on it. But Halloween is such a dynamic holiday because you got the actual day, right? You have the 31st, and it's a time where kids get together and they go get candy. So I live in, well, I won't I've lived in many places, but, I've been basically living kind of that suburban lifestyle, and, modern day suburbs everyone's relatively nice, but most people stick to themselves, whereas Halloween was really nice because we would always put out not only stuff for the kids to come and trick or treat with us, but also we'd always have like a little beer cooler or something for the adults, and it was a good time. We always talked to our neighbors more than we did. We threw a fire, so like Halloween brought people together. And it's a really good communal holiday because it's just all about fun. So, like, whether you're making it about your group and you're trying to come up with a great costume, or like I said earlier, it's about the kids in the community. That's great. I don't know. Halloween's so easy and nice to bring everyone together, and it just has such cool aesthetics. Orange, what a great color. I would say, to me, I like orange. I like a gray. Basically pumpkins and gargoyles, going back to what I talked about earlier. But the color schemes of it, and the reason I actually created the 90s commercial tier is just think about all those amazing Halloween episodes of our TV shows and the commercials that were leading up to it. So do you remember the episode of, what's that, Boy Meets World, where there was a serial killer in the school, and then they were doing a parody of a movie. It's the one, I just saw the remake of it that was really bad. Well, not a remake, but a continuation, because that's all they make. I almost just said, "Are You Scared of the Dark?" But that's also just another 90s banger. I Know What You Did Last Summer. They did a really, like, kind of cheesy parody of it, and that was awesome. And I miss that. I miss the excitement for that. Completely unrelated, I also miss crossover episodes. Like, it was so excited when, like, Peter from Family Guy would go bother Homer Simpson. That's cool. But, like, yeah, it was just, I don't know, the 90s TV commercials. I'll sometimes watch them for Halloween just because they were so cool. They were like, they really knew how to find that line of being scary but not too scary, because their target audience was selling, I don't know, shoes to a kid or something. Like, they're like, here's a pumpkin, and it's really spooky, but inside the pumpkin is the new thing of Reeboks, and you should buy them. So have your parents take you to Foot Locker. I don't think that was definitely a real commercial and not me just making that idea up. But yeah, Halloween's just like, it's such a great holiday for all the flexibility it has. I mean, you can, like, it's like really cool because you're seeing a lot of like crossovers. Like, think of, like, what do I think of? I think of like the big holiday of like Christmas coming into Halloween now. If you go to any of your local haunts, and when I say local haunts, I'm talking about, like, the going to like a haunted house or a haunted hayride. 95% of the time, there's probably a Christmas Halloween theme thing, right? You're going into Santa's workshop and he's been a little tipsy. He's had too many with the elves, and and now he's gonna get you with an axe or something, right? Like, the whole, like, going over, and it's like the haunted fairy tales, or, the Easter rabbit. Well, he was looking for eggs, but guess what? It's not eggs, it's human heads. Like, I don't know, it's just so cool. I like it. I mean, I'm the ultimate Halloween super fan, which is really funny. I would probably say, like, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, it's whatever. Like, Halloween's cool, but it's not, like, my favorite holiday. And now it's like, it's my number one thing. It's my steez. It's what I look forward to every year. So definitely 90s commercial. What a banger. We got a really solid list for you today here. We got the 90s commercials. It's Christmas. It's Halloween. The two bangers of the holidays. And I want you to put in the comments down on this episode, if this is on YouTube or whatever, like and subscribe and comment. What do you think is the best holiday? Now, in the Drunk Family Reunion tier, we have 4th of July and Easter. The Don't Tell Your Coworkers or Plans tier, we have Groundhog's Day and St. Patrick's Day. And lastly, the stinkers in our bank holiday tier, we have Earth Day and Arbor Day. What a fantastic holiday list. And honestly, holidays are great because what they do is they allow you to spend some time with your family and friends. What are you doing right now? You're spending it with your friend John Knuckles. I'm coming in here. It's 3 a.m. I really want to go to bed. I'm watching South Park with the subtitles. And life's good. And holidays are about being with the people that make life good. And we're going to keep doing that. Alright? So thank you for listening to this mini episode of the High Tea Boys John Knuckles Takeover episode. If you like it, just keep listening to them and enjoy what the boys are up to because I know I do. Alright everyone, take care.